All right, folks, welcome back to our final video in this binocular review series, and we are looking at the Alpha Glass here. These are the three best binoculars in the world that we've been able to find, and probably not a whole lot of argument there. We got the Leica Noctivid, the Zeiss Victory SF, and the new Swarovski NL Pure. Putting these side by side here, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of each of these. Now, I'll put a link in the description here to a in-depth article we did on these three, comparing these three and our testing, as well as a link to an article here that we did with 27 different binoculars broken down into price category. Links to both of those down in the description. But for this video, we're going to go over the pros and cons that we found through our testing of each of these, through a bunch of hours of looking through these. 10 different people, the volunteers, giving us their opinions, their likes and dislikes of these binoculars. So stick around as we do that, and as always, we'll appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check out our website where we got a ton of other gear reviews over there. Let's jump into this review. All right, so the Alpha Glass, all of these are fantastic. They're amazing binoculars, but we're going to kind of nitpick and go through what we liked and didn't like about these, if you can really even do that, starting on the about $2,700 up to $3,200 on the Swarovski NL Pures here. So they're all amazing. You can't go wrong with any of these, and we're again nitpicking here on the differences. The Leica Noctivid 10x42s, these are again all 10x42s. They are a fantastic binocular. Color rendition in Leica, as you know, is incredible. The best of this group. You just get incredible color with the Leica Noctivids here. A couple of things I noted, and the team noted when we were testing these out. Dual bridge design, kind of like the Zeiss here as well. Real comfortable in hand, and the focus mechanism is nice and smooth. We did notice a little bit of play, though. It's kind of surprising. There's just we're being nitpicky, of course, but a little bit of play in the mechanism here. And so we were a little bit bummed about that. A little bit more of a spongy feel in that play than the others. Again, just really picking these things apart to bring you the differences, but we did notice that in our testing here. Locking diopter, which is really nice, and I do like the locking diopter being right there so that you can make sure that it doesn't move on you once you get it set. The eye cups here are very unique. Leica makes some cool eye cups in that they really lock into place well. We got 19 millimeters of eye relief, so just a ton of eye relief with these things, and they absolutely stay in place. It's almost like a gritty feel when you're making this adjustment, but they just don't move once they're in place. So I really appreciate that. It's kind of frustrating to have the eye cups move if you're in your binocular harness and pull them out and that sort of thing. So this green color is really a good looking binocular. Really like that. Edge to edge clarity, optical performance here. Let's start with edge to edge clarity. Very good with these. Maybe the outer 10% you start to lose a little bit of clarity. In this price category, that came in third. The Zeiss was just a little bit better in that regard. So you did lose a little bit of edge-to-edge clarity with these. It wasn't the best in the group. Still amazing. But the outer 7 to 10%, you seem to lose a little bit of clarity there. Overall image clarity was very good. As you can imagine, all these are phenomenal. But the group ranked these in the number 3 spot as well in the overall image clarity. Really close with the Victory SFs. It kind of comes down to personal preference. If the Victories and the Noctivids here have a very different color tone. This is a warmer, more vibrant tone to the color, whereas the Zeiss has a real natural, kind of almost a crystal-y tone. Really makes the image pop. So if you like that more, the Zeiss is going to be more of something you'd like. Whereas if you really like high color contrast, really vibrant colors, then these Leicas are amazing that way. Field of view is the smallest of the group in the Noctivids. Both the Victory and the NL Pures are significantly bigger, so that's kind of a bummer. Another one of the reasons why these ranked in the number 3 spot. Overall, awesome binoculars, as you know. These are just incredible binoculars. So, but that's some of the differences. Now with the Zeiss Victory SF. Oh, one other thing on these. None of these have a binocular or are threaded for a tripod adapter, which is crazy that they don't come with that, but none of them do in this Alpha Glass category. So if you want to use a binocular adapter on any of these, I found that Really Right Stuff cinch works really well. It just kind of grabs onto the barrel and it's nice and compact. So that was my favorite. I'll put a link to that in the description for you as well. As far as this kind of binocular that does not have a threaded, or is not threaded for a stud. The Victory SFs, these were probably the most comfortable in hand of this group. They're bigger, as you can see, they're taller, a little more bulky than the others, but they're so comfortable and so balanced, and it just your hand just falls in the perfect spot on the focus mechanism. These were my favorite that way. Really, really comfortable. The focus mechanism is the smoothest of the group, probably my favorite of the group. Just even resistance across the entire focus mechanism, whereas it was a little bit different on the Noctivids and even the NL Pures. I didn't care for them quite as much that way. These were just perfect across the entire focus range. Locking diopter here, which is fantastic, again with Zeiss, and their eye cups are awesome. They're really nice and give you the perfect resistance, a ton of eye relief. I think 18 millimeters is what you get with these guys, so they're fantastic that way. And I just really felt that they were some of the most comfortable out there in the eye cup department. Hinges are about right. Could be a little bit more stiff so it doesn't move on you, but about right that way. Image clarity on these, just incredible, as you can imagine. Low light performance, incredible. There was small differences between these two in low light performance. As a whole, the group thought that the Victory SF was just barely better than the Leicas in low light performance, and we're talking just barely. But they were a little bit better in the field, the edge-to-edge clarity as well. You had maybe the outer 5% or so, you lost some clarity on these, but phenomenal that way. And again, you kind of have that crystal-y look, just a really bright and vibrant look through these, through the Victory SFs. Field of view over 360 feet on these, just fantastic. Now, if you didn't have the NL Pures here with the ridiculous 399 feet at 1,000 yards in their field of view, these would easily take the top spot as far as field of view. And so something to consider. These are no slouch by any stretch. Just phenomenal binoculars across the board. Low light performance was incredible. They just barely topped the Leicas in the low light performance and came in just behind the NL Pures here. Can't go wrong. Again, just amazing binoculars that way. NL Pures, these are the newest ones from Swarovski. Just incredible binoculars. A couple of unique things about this is the tapered barrel. So it kind of is designed to give you a more comfortable grip. I don't know that I love it. If you have longer fingers or larger hands, you probably won't. I've heard that from a few folks, because they are so small there that it kind of bunches your hands up a little bit. So I've heard a few folks say they don't care for that. So and I can understand that. It doesn't bother me that much. They're a little bit cramped for me, but I do like it. It's not, again, my favorite. Don't love it, don't hate it. It's kind of a cool design though. Another kind of cool thing is I do have a headrest here I put on, and I didn't know if that was going to kind of be a gimmick or is going to help, but that extra point here on your face, that extra on your forehead, it actually really does stabilize the image. So if you don't have a tripod or are not going to use one, I would definitely recommend picking up the headrest. That really does a really good job of making that more stable for you. The eye cups are amazing on these, right there with the Zeiss. These are some of my favorites. These are pretty incredible in that you've got 7 click stops here, and there's enough resistance it's going to stay wherever you put it. So pretty amazing that way from the Swarovski, that you have that much in your adjustment of the eye cups. 7 click stops there. They're not the lightest of this group. I think they're right in the middle. They're not as light as the Victory, but lighter than the Noctivid, so great that way as well. On the focus mechanism, kind of unique. It's real easy and smooth at first, but then it's almost like it grabs and engages more so if you're making a bigger adjustment. So it's almost like it's multifunctional, and if you're making just a real fine adjustment, it's really nice and easy. But then if you go to make a bigger adjustment for going way out farther in the range and then bringing it way in, you have more resistance there. It's kind of an interesting feel, something that takes getting used to. I don't know if I love it or not yet. Do some more testing in the field to share with these guys and see how that goes. But it's of course really nice. I mean, they're a fantastic pair of binoculars that way. Tripod adaptability. I did find that this was the easiest and best as far as adapting for a tripod. I found that the Epic Outdoors makes a stud. If you like the SLC adapter, the tripod adapter, the TA adapter, that works. Epic Outdoors made this. Works really well on that. Is also Outdoorsman's. If you like the Outdoorsman's stud, they make one, the threads in there as well. So I really prefer having the tripod adapter right here at the back end of this hinge. It just makes for a more stable overall. Now, low light performance was, yeah, it was hands down the best of the NL Pures in this group. They're just the best. I mean, everybody across the board #1 that way. They were across the board #1 in their edge-to-edge clarity, and which is really incredible because they have 399 feet at 1,000 yards, which is insane as far as the field of view. But to have that much field of view and have it be basically perfect across the entire field of view is really incredible. Image clarity is, as you can imagine, just phenomenal as well. Color contrast, though, it's typical Swarovski, so a very, very high contrasted image, not as warm and not as vibrant colors as you get with the Leica, or even the Zeiss for that matter. So it's just different, so it depends on what you prefer. That's why they're so phenomenal in low light. You know, brighter situations, you might prefer one of the other ones though too. So kind of personal preference in that, but overall just an amazing pair of binoculars. These were ranked #1 overall of the whole 26 pairs of binoculars that we tested. That was basically a group consensus across the board. There was, I don't think, anybody that ranked anything higher than these guys. So amazing and incredible binoculars. Again, links to those reviews in the description for you. So hopefully that is helpful for you and gives you a little bit more information if you're trying to decide between these, what's going to work best for you in your situation. Definitely drop any questions or comments down in the comments section. We'd love to help you make a decision, point you in the right direction, share our experiences with these. It was just an absolute blast getting to do this review and to test all these side by side. So drop any questions, comments. Thanks for watching here today. And again, I'll put the links to these down in the description for you so you can check them out for yourself. We'll see you next time.